At a certain point in the league's existence, I'm gonna need for Kelsey Mitchell to get the same whistle as each other stars. The way she gets assaulted is insane, actually, and I've considered roping my sister in it to have office purse charges. Now, this is when Caitlin Clark chimed in. Caitlin Clark said, "Careful, you're going to get fined." Then Sydney Colson said, "I can't get..."
The WNBA is caught in yet another explosive controversy as Caitlin Clark and Sydney Colson break their silence on the league's growing referee bias. This time, they aren't holding back, taking aim at what they see as some of the most blatant double standards in professional sports. Here's how this firestorm erupted and why it could blow the lid off the WNBA's biggest hidden truth.
Who paying you, ref? Who you betting on? And mind you, there was some problems going on with the shot clock throughout the game. But man, there is no way. Right at the end of the game, you should be on top of it. You telling me you're not paying attention to when some hands touch that ball? Come on, man. And then to reward them with the timeout, like, fam, that's crazy work. Look, Caitlin Clark, like, what is going on here? She's like, no. Look, Caitlin ready to run the floor, fam.
After the Indiana Fever's nail-biting 76-75 victory over the Los Angeles Sparks on August 29th, what should have been a night of pure celebration quickly spiraled into yet another heated controversy. Sydney Colson, sidelined all season with a torn ACL and watching from home, saw something unfold on the court that made her blood boil.
Oh, there's Leah. You gave them every chance to win. If you look at this in slow motion, you can see Caitlin Clark clearly smiling in confusion, smiling in, did that really just happen? Smiling in, you sly W. And she says, she points at the other team, you gave them every chance to win. Oh, goodness gracious. Caitlin Clark, she's chomping at the bits to start talking to these referees during the game, during free throws, after the game.
After the Indiana Fever's nail-biting 76-75 victory over the Los Angeles Sparks on August 29th, what should have been a night of pure celebration quickly spiraled into yet another heated controversy. Sydney Colson, sidelined all season with a torn ACL and watching from home, saw something unfold on the court that made her blood boil.
That's what everybody saw in that game. Like, it didn't really matter what was going on. We all knew what was happening. We all knew what was happening there. And the game was being given. The game was absolutely being given to the Sparks. They were giving the Sparks every single chance possible to go and win that game. Even though realistically, did they deserve to win that game? Hell no. Hell no. They did not. And I mean that. They did not deserve to win that game.
Caitlin Clark, sidelined with an injury and watching from the bench, couldn't hold back her frustration. She leapt to her feet, shouting at the referees, "Call it. Call it." Her teammate Lexi Hull, equally outraged, stood up in protest, only for the officials to hit her with a technical foul almost instantly. Think about that for a moment. Hull gets punished for voicing frustration over an obvious no call, while the player who committed the foul walks away untouched, free to keep playing as if nothing ever happened.
Yo, please tell me y'all saw Caitlin Clark, the GOAT. Y'all saw Caitlin Clark crash out on the bald head ref last night. Please tell me y'all saw this. And she had Caitlin Clark spazzed on the referee last night. And I'm not mad about it. I see a lot of the haters talking about, oh, she be doing too much with the man. Mind your business. You are not in a GOAT's place, so stay out of a GOAT's business, okay? It's that simple. The officiating was awful last night. I don't know what was going on in that Los Angeles Sparks Indiana Fever game, but the officiating was flat out.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe, because here's where things get absolutely wild. Watching the chaos from her living room, Sydney Colson finally snapped. She jumped on social media and dropped a tweet that said exactly what everyone else was thinking. At a certain point in the league's existence, I'll need Kelsey Mitchell to get the same whistle as other stars. The way she gets assaulted is insane, actually. And I've considered roping my sister in to have her office pursue charges. This wasn't some throwaway comment from an injured player craving attention. Colson was dead serious. She was calling out what she saw as systematic targeting of Indiana Fever players, and she didn't hesitate to put it in writing for the entire world to see. The tweet went viral faster than a Clark three-pointer, and that's when Caitlin Clark herself jumped into the conversation.
But Kelsey Mitchell's whistle last night was horrific. And Kelsey drove to the basket a lot. She is the type of person that just goes through a lot of defenders, and she wasn't getting a call. This really was not her game. She was not hitting it from the three whatsoever, but everyone is entitled to having a bad game here and there, and I think she was kind of due for one because of the tear that she's been on lately. Even Sid Colson took to Twitter to talk about it, saying, at a certain point in the league's existence, I'm gonna need Kelsey Mitchell to get the same whistle as other stars. The way she gets assaulted is insane, actually, and I've considered roping my sister in to have her pursue.
Kelsey Mitchell's whistle last night was nothing short of brutal. She attacked the basket again and again, taking on multiple defenders, yet still couldn't buy a call. It just wasn't her night. Her three-point shot wasn't falling, and she looked a step off compared to her usual rhythm. But let's be real. Every player is entitled to an off game, and given the hot streak she's been on, Mitchell was probably due for one. Still, the lack of calls stood out so much that even Sydney Colson had to weigh in on Twitter. At a certain point in the league's existence, I'm going to need Kelsey Mitchell to get the same whistle as other stars. The way she gets assaulted is insane, actually, and I've considered roping my sister in to have her office pursue charges. Caitlin Clark's reply? Short, sharp, and dripping with sarcasm. Careful, you're going to get fined. 5 words that summed up everything wrong with the WNBA's approach to silencing criticism. It wasn't just a joke. It was a pointed jab at the league's obsession with protecting referees from accountability while punishing players who dare to speak up. Clark knew exactly what she was saying because she's seen it firsthand. Her teammate Sophie Cunningham has essentially been turned into the league's punching bag for voicing frustration about officiating. Cunningham has been fined 3 separate times. First, a $500 fine for posting a TikTok where she lip-synced lyrics calling refs stupid and useless. Then, a $1,500 fine for remarks on her podcast about referee inconsistency. And that's just scratching the surface.
Careful, you're going to get fined. Then Sydney Colson said, I can't get no more fine. So Lynn Dunn stated, agree, I will help pay the fine. So that's what Lynn Dunn stated yesterday about the fines. And Caitlin Clark said, love it. Everyone listen to Lynn. So it's definitely a lot of exchange going back and forth there. That's crazy. Erica's in the mix.
But wait, it gets even better. Cunningham was slapped with a 3rd fine after daring to question why rookie sensation Paige Buchers seemed to get every call in her favor. Cunningham's words were blunt, but hardly unreasonable. Those refs were giving her every freaking whistle last night. Like, you couldn't touch her. That is so annoying to me. And if you're going to do that, then give it to our guards. For simply pointing out the obvious, that officials were showing blatant favoritism. The WNBA came down on her yet again. Think about the message this sends. Players are essentially being told, shut up and accept whatever treatment we give you, or we'll fine you into the ground. It's less like fair competition and more like a protection racket dressed up as professional sports governance. Sydney Colson understood this dynamic all too well, which made her reply to Clark's sarcastic warning even more powerful. When Clark tweeted, careful, you're going to get fined, Colson shot back with a line that said it all. I can't get no more fine.